Hey, let's make a recycled plastic bottle fish craft. Let's upcycle some of those plastic water bottles that end up in our recycling bin. Grab a couple of plastic water bottles, some acrylic paint, maybe some googly eyes, and you're going to need your typical craft supplies like scissors, staplers, tape, and such. I'm also going to use some craft foam, I think, to make some fins. But we're just going to experiment a little, and I hope that you do the same and you can make several of these and hang them in a mobile, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut off that label, and this is going to be noisy. Then we're going to cut off the bottom part. Smash it from about halfway down with your hand. You can already see the fish shape, can't you? I'm going to take the lid off, and that gives me an easy way to hold on to it while I do my other steps. All right, so I'm going to cut this so that it makes a tail shape here. So it's kind of making triangle cuts. There's my first one, and then I'm going to make one on the other side. See, I told you it was going to be noisy. Crinkly plastic. I love the shape of this already. Let me put it on top of the paper. Can you see that better? I think that I'm going to flatten this just slightly, and I'm going to staple right here. Okay, that keeps the fish in shape. Then I'm going to come back and paint this fish. This is going to be so much fun. So I've chosen these beautiful colors for my fish. You could look online and see what the actual fish markings are and make yours look like a real fish if you'd like. This will be kind of a made-up fish. I'm going to make some fins out of this blue color. Keep that in your mind as I paint my fish. So I think I'll paint the body mostly yellow and orange, and I think the head of it's going to be red and blue. And I'm going to put on some googly eyes too, which is going to be fun. I'm going to try to do the same thing on both sides of the fish. I'm going to make this kind of blue area and put the eye on top of it. And this is acrylic paint, and it does connect onto the plastic, but it is a little bit see-through-ish. I may come back and do a second coat if I want. I'll do some blue on the tail as well. This will be noisy. I kind of like it looking kind of see-through-ish. And this looks a little bit stained glass. Put paper down on my tabletop so I don't get any paint on it. I'll do some red on the bottom part of the face. Of the fish just yellow color, and then add orange over it. We'll see how this works. And remember, we're going to have those blue fins on the top and the bottom, which I think will really look nice. Let's see, I'm going to make maybe some like orange stripes on, kind of like scales or something. Just little lines. Do it on the other side as well. I like this color scheme. So I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes and come back and do the fins. I'm going to stand it up on its bottle neck or its mouth of the fish. Ta-da! So I'm an impatient crafter. This is almost dry here, but I'm going to start making some fins out of the blue foam. I want them to be on the top and the bottom, and I may make some little ones on the side. I'm going to try hot gluing them on. We'll see how that works with the plastic bottle. The top ones I'm going to insert into the plastic bottle. So let's see, I'm going to cut 2 at once, and I'm going to cut kind of a, I don't know what shape this is. It looks kind of like a wave, don't you think? And I'm going to cut this in half, and let's look and see what we think. Well, I kind of like that, but I'm going to make it smaller on the bottom part here, maybe more like that. There. I may make this bottom one smaller. What do you think? Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be the top. This is going to be the bottom. Then I'm going to cut 2 little shapes, like little cone shape, well, little hump shapes for small ones on the side. Wanting them to go on here. So how about if I cut, make it kind of rounded on the end maybe? So they're kind of odd shaped rectangles. It doesn't really exactly matter what they look like because they're just going to give that idea of a fin. So for these 2 fins, I'm going to cut a little slit into the plastic, and I'm going to insert them into that slit and then use my stapler to see if I can staple that together. That worked great. Let's do the same thing on the bottom. Okay, I made a little slit in the plastic, stuck the fin in, and I'm going to staple it in place. And I'm going to cut the 2 tail sections apart here. You may want to kind of staple that together too. There we go. It kind of keeps the tail together. Next, let's glue these little side fins on. I'm going to use a hot glue gun, and I'm hoping that it doesn't melt this foam too badly. And while I'm doing this side, I'm going to go ahead and put this eye right up here. I'm using a large googly eye, but you could also paint it on if you want to. I love googly eyes. Okay, let's turn it over and do the same thing on this side. The plastic bottle doesn't like that too much, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to make just a few little extra markings on here. I'm going to use a little bit of white and do a few little markings on the tail. And I might do a couple on the fins too, just for fun. All of this is just extra. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I just think it adds some fun little extra details to the fish. So how about a few spots here? And maybe a little gill line there. I'll do it on both sides. Yeah. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hole punch, punch a little hole up here, probably in the craft foam, so that I can hang it by a thread and make a mobile out of this. And while this was drying, I started a small one out of a small water bottle. That's this size. And I'm going to add that to the mobile as well. I'm doing it in pink and purple. But let's make our hole punch in the top. right, the last thing I want to do is paint the mouth. I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow to that. And there we have our fish. I've loved making a recycled plastic bottle fish craft with you. If you'd like more fun crafts, come on over to welcometonana's.com and join the fun.